All right, what up, YouTube? I'm finna hit a quick little video real quick, and today I'm gonna be in Proverbs for the main part today. I'm gonna get in a few other books, but I'm gonna mainly be in Proverbs. But really, what I'm gonna be hitting on today, I be seeing a lot of people asking, why would God allow evil to exist and all that? So I'm gonna get into that today. And like I said, I'm gonna be in Proverbs, so I'm gonna start in Proverbs 16 real quick. And Proverbs 16:4 says, "The Lord have made all things for himself, yeah, even the wicked for the day of evil." All right. And so people ask the question, why would God allow evil to exist? But Proverbs 16:4 says that the Lord have made all things for himself, yeah, even the wicked for the day of evil. All right. And since the wicked is made for the day of evil, we gotta see what else the wicked might be here for. And if you look in Proverbs 21, like I said, I'm gonna be in Proverbs a lot today, but I'm gonna go to the 21st chapter on this one, and I'm gonna go to 21:12 real quick. And it says, "The righteous man wisely considereth the house of the wicked, but God overthroweth the wicked for their wickedness." Proverbs 16 tells us that God made the wicked even for the day of evil. And Proverbs 21 tells us that the righteous man gonna consider the house of the wicked and consider their wickedness. And God gonna tell us, the Bible tells us that God overthroweth the wicked for their wickedness. All right. And so since we're gonna consider the wicked, since they here, since God made them, let's see what we see when we consider the wicked. Proverbs chapter 28 says, "The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are as bold as a lion." All right. So again, God made the wicked for the day of evil. And since he made them, since they gonna be here, if you righteous, you should at least consider the house of the wicked, see what they doing, to see how you should or shouldn't be. But as we consider the house of the wicked, Proverbs 28 says that the wicked flee, but no man pursueth. All right, and so let's see what happens when the wicked flee, when no man pursueth. I'm gonna go to Proverbs 4 real quick. Hold on, let me make sure I'm gonna go to 4. I might want to go some before that. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Proverbs 4 real quick. I'm gonna go to Proverbs 4:19, and it says, "The way of the wicked is as darkness; they know not at what they stumble." All right, so we know that the wicked flee when no man pursueth, but as he fleeing, his way is in darkness. His way is as darkness. They know not at what they stumble. And so, with that being said, I'm gonna go to Psalm real quick. I'm gonna just put it all together. It's gonna make sense. I'm gonna go to Psalm 37. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go to 35 first. I'm gonna go to 35. Let me see. I'm gonna go to Psalm 35:6. I'm gonna read that real quick. And matter of fact, let me just read a little bit of it first, and then I'm gonna read 6. "Plead my cause, O Lord, with them that strive with me. Fight against them that fight against me." All right, and I'm gonna read 6. "Let their way be dark and slippery, and let the angel of the Lord persecute them." All right, so we know that God made the wicked for the day of evil. And when we consider their house, we know that they flee with no man pursueth, right? And as they flee, Proverbs 4 says, "The way of the wicked is as darkness. They know not at what they stumble." So if the way of the wicked is as darkness and they know not at what they stumble, and we read in Psalm, we read back in Psalm 35 say, hold on, Psalm 35:6 say, "Let their way be dark and slippery, and let the angel of the Lord persecute them." We considering the way of the wicked. we seeing why God made them. God made us so that we can consider their house and see what they do. They flee when no man pursueth, and as they fleeing, their way is not only dark but it's slippery too. So I'm gonna go to I'm gonna go to Proverbs 24 real quick, and I'm gonna go to 16, the 16th verse, and it says, "For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief." All right, so we know that they way is dark and slippery before them when we consider their house. And not only is it dark and slippery, but it says that the wicked shall fall into mischief because their way is dark and slippery. That ain't what it say, but if we put it all together, we know that that's the reason why. All right. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go to Psalm 37 real quick, and I'm gonna read it. Verse 12. It says, "The wicked plotteth against the just, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy and to slay such as be up that be of upright conversation. Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bow shall be broken. A little that a righteous man hath is better than the riches of many wicked." So we see right there at verse 15, it says that their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. Remember, we consider their way, and their way is dark and slippery. Proverbs 4 said, hold on, the way of the wicked is as darkness. They know not at what they stumble, because remember, it's darkness, but it's slippery too. And then Proverbs 37:15 says, "Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken." And that only makes sense if their way is dark and slippery and they're going in with a sword. If your way is dark and slippery and you fleeing when no man is even pursuing you and you holding a sword in your hand, you most likely gonna stab yourself if you scared to the point that when you fleeing when ain't nobody even pursuing you in a dark and slippery way. It says that their sword shall enter into their own heart and their bows shall be broken. And so I'm gonna go to Proverbs 15 because at the end of Psalm 37 it says something. But let me go back there and read it again. Psalm 37 said, "A little that a righteous man hath is better than the riches of many wicked." And then Proverbs 15, if we go to Proverbs 15, it says the same thing basically. It says, "Better is little with the fear of the Lord than great treasure and trouble therewith." And so let's consider the way of the wicked real quick. As a matter of fact, I ain't got to go to it. We already know about it. Judas, when he betrayed Jesus, he betrayed him for 30 pieces of silver. And that might have been much money to him at that time. But Proverbs 15 and Psalm 37 again says, "A little that a righteous man hath is better than the riches of many wicked." And then Proverbs 15 says, "Better is little with the fear of the Lord than great treasure and trouble therewith." So obviously for him to go kill himself, he knew, not that, I ain't gonna say he knew, but we knew that he was troubled, not only in his mind, but in his spirit. Matter of fact, let me go to that real quick because I want to read something. But he was troubled with that great treasure that he had, so much so that he killed himself. And I'm gonna go to Matthew real quick because Jesus said something I want to read. I'm gonna go to the 26th chapter and I'm gonna go to the 24th verse. And it says, "The Son of Man goeth as it is written of him. Woe unto that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It had been good for that man if he had not been born." So we see in the way of the wicked as we consider his ways, like it said in Proverbs 21. The Lord made the wicked for the day of evil, but when we consider his way, it would have been better for him not to have even been born in the first place. So when people ask, why would God allow the wicked to exist, pretty much, God allowed the wicked to exist for the day of evil, but he allowed them to remain because remember, God is slow to anger, but abundance, and love. He want everybody to come to, repentance so that they shall not perish. So he allowed them to exist for the day of evil, but he allowed them to remain so that they can eventually repent if they will and be saved. All right, but everybody ain't gonna do that. Some people gonna get away with their evilness, at least in the flesh. And we seeing, like I said, even if they gonna get away with it in the flesh, go back to it and read it one more time. But I mean, better 15:16 Proverbs. Better is little with the fear of the Lord than great treasure and trouble therewith. Like I said, we go back and Jesus said it would be better for him not to have even been born by the man who gonna plot on the righteous, like as it said in Proverbs, not Proverbs, but Psalm 37. And so just looking at all that, I was just thinking about it because I've been watching a few of these cases lately. Like, I don't know why, but I've been watching Court TV lately, and they talking a lot about that Alex Murdaugh case, the dude, the lawyer in South Carolina who supposedly killed his son and his wife. And it just goes to show back what Proverbs 15 and Psalm 37 is saying. Better is little with fear of the Lord than great treasure and trouble therewith. The Alex Murdaugh dude, he was I guess he was somewhat rich or whatever, but the, the case still going on. So I ain't trying to say he guilty or he not. As a matter of fact, yeah, that case still going on. So let me not even use that as an example. But think about Fred Hampton, the dude who set up Fred Hampton, Will O'Neal. He ended up killing himself because obviously whatever he got from it was troubling him, like it said. Then great treasure and trouble therewith. He knew that he set up a man that was for the people and he couldn't live with that. So just how Judas killed himself when he betrayed Jesus, Will O'Neal, when he betrayed Fred Hampton, he ended up killing himself too because they great treasure. Matter of fact, Jesus said too, I ain't gonna go to the verse, whatever, but he said, for what is great treasure, he didn't say what is, let me just go to the verse when he's making some up. But he said, what does it mean if you gain the world, but to sell your soul pretty much, and that's just basically what that is, you know, and as a matter of fact, talking about that court stuff too, the cases I've been watching and all that, I just seen one too. It was about this Caucasian lady down in Memphis. Her name was Shannon. I forgot the name of the dude who killed her. If I did, I could probably bring it up and show y'all what I'm talking about, but it'll probably be easy to find anyway. But it was a white lady down in Memphis. Her name was Shannon, and she used to go to the casino a lot or whatever, but she ended up turning $500 into 5,000, and then she arrived home to whatever. I think she was picking up her kids or somebody came and kidnapped her, and they ended up finding her somewhere close by Clarksdale, Mississippi. A couple weeks later, a couple months later, or whatever, and she had a bullet on her head. So whoever kidnapped her ended up killing her, and they took her money. But the way this dude got caught was, and this is going back to what Proverbs 28 is saying: the wicked flee when no man pursueth. He was driving his car, and he came across, I think, some border patrol agents. And as he came across them, I guess he noticed them, and they noticed him too because he like abruptly like just turned around and just started speeding off, and they weren't even looking for him. Like they were just minding their business, and he took off for no reason. And so since he did that, they caught up with him to see why he was just taking off running for no reason. Because the wicked flee when no man pursueth. And as they caught him, they ended up finding one of the lady's the lady Shannon. They ended up finding one of her fingernails in his car, and that's how they ended up finding out that he did that. But they wouldn't have found him if he wouldn't have just took off running for no reason. But that goes back to what Proverbs 28 is saying: the wicked flee when no man pursueth. And even when I think about it like this, I can go back to Proverbs 4 and it say, the way of the wicked is as darkness. They know not in what they stumble. So this dude, it ain't no telling why he took off when he seen the police for no reason. It could have been for something else. But as a matter of fact, I think when I was watching that too, they ended up finding about $1,400 in his pocket. So maybe it was for that. Maybe he did kill her and take her money. But either, I mean, he obviously did since they found her nails and stuff in his car. But it ain't no telling why he took off running. But since he did, going back to Proverbs 28, the wicked fleeing when no man pursueth, and the way of wickedness is darkness, they know not in what they stumble. Remember, Proverbs 37 said they gonna fall through when that's their own sword gonna go through their body. You see what I'm saying? They know not of what they stumbled. And ain't no telling why he took off, but he took off and he wasn't even being pursued. And that's how he ended up getting caught. But I ain't gonna make this too long today. I think I got the point across. Like I said, I've been seeing a lot of people, I actually know why would God allow the wicked, to live. And as a matter of fact, let me just go back to the book of Chronicles real quick, because people ask why would God allow the wicked to exist, but those of us who are good ain't always good. And so why would God allow us to exist? Like if we go back, I'm gonna go to Second Chronicles 26 real quick. I'm gonna read I'm gonna start at verse 3 and I'm gonna skip over a little bit. And I'm gonna go to 26:3 real quick. Second Chronicles. 16 years old was Uzziah when he began to reign. He reigned 52 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name also is Zechariah of Jerusalem. And he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, according to all that his father Amaziah did. And I'm gonna just skip there real quick. I'm gonna go to verse 16. But when he was strong, his heart was lifted up to his destruction, for he transgressed against the Lord his God and went into the temple of the Lord to burn incense upon the altar of incense. So people ask, why would God allow the wicked to exist? Well, it's because we have choices. Remember, Jeremiah says that God knew you before you was formed in the womb. So God allowed the wicked to exist. Going back to Proverbs, uh, what was that, 21, so that we can consider their ways. Because, like I said, even some of us that are good, sometimes as we read in Second Chronicles 26, our heart's gonna be lifted up to our own destruction. And even I'm gonna go to Second Chronicles. Let me see. I think it said the same thing about Hezekiah too. I'm gonna go to Second Chronicles, chapter 32, and I'm gonna start at the 24th verse. And it says, in those days Hezekiah was sick to the death and prayed unto the Lord, and he spake unto him and gave him a sign. But Hezekiah rendered not again according to the benefit done unto him, for his heart was lifted up. Therefore there was wrath upon him and upon Judah and Jerusalem. So, and they saying, Uzziah, because obviously the Bible states, and we can read and see for ourselves, that Hezekiah and Uzziah were good men of the Lord. So I ain't saying they were evil, but that's just what I'm saying though. People would say, why do God allow evil to exist or the wicked to exist? And if we look and see, even sometimes those of us who are considered good, we do bad things sometimes. Everybody who bad ain't gonna always do bad things. They gonna do good things sometimes. And everybody who's considered good ain't gonna always do good things. They gonna do bad things sometimes. So if the good gonna do bad sometimes and the bad gonna do good sometimes, why won't God just allow the wicked to exist for the day of evil, like it says in Proverbs 16, which is why he even created them in the first place, for that day of evil. Because even sometimes good people do evil things. So I think I got it all. I don't want to be too long into this. And let me see, I hit that. Yeah, I think I'm done with this. But if I ain't, I just post something else about it later. But that's pretty much, the answer for anybody who want to know why the wicked exist. They exist for the day of evil, and they also exist so you can consider their way in their house. When you consider their way in their house, you will see that they walk in the way of darkness, and in that way of darkness, their way is dark and slippery. And since their way is dark and slippery, a lot of times they end up slipping and falling through, like Proverbs 24 said. The righteous man gonna fall 7 times, but the wicked man, he gonna fall into mischief. And of course, that makes sense if his way is dark and slippery. He's doing mischievous things. He fall through his own sword. And like, what was that? Psalm 37 said. Go back and read that again. Says the Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. And again, for anybody who thinking in their head, well, shouldn't I just be evil then, since God gonna allow evil to exist? No, Psalm 37 again, a little that a righteous man hath is better than the riches of many wicked. And again, it said that in Proverbs 15. So that's pretty much why God allows evil to exist, for that day of evil, so that you can consider their ways. and not walk into their evil ways that they walked into. I mean, just even think about it with Adam and Eve. They had choices, and God knew the choice they was gonna choose before. Because, like I said again in Jeremiah, He knew what He was gonna do before we was formed in the womb. So God gonna allow you to make your choices, but with those choices that you make, He remember it's He to order our steps. So if you're doing good, He'll order your steps into the way that you're supposed to go. But if you're doing bad, He gonna manipulate and order your steps so that the righteous can look into your path and learn from your mischievous ways or whatever. But like I said, I don't want to be. I feel like I'm going in circles now, and I don't want to be all day with this. I think I have to point across. So that's it. Until next time, I'm out.